I'm Debbie Allen, also known as the Expert of Experts. And what I do is I help you turn your passion, skills, and talent into a lucrative career as the go-to expert in your industry. And today I'm going to talk to you about dominating your competition as the go-to expert. As we know, businesses dramatically change. Therefore, marketing's got to change too. If you're doing the same old things that you've always done, my guess is you're either staying stuck in your business, falling behind, or your competition is taking over, or even worse, all of those. So it's time to look at a new way of doing business. And that's why I want to share with you some of the strategies of how you can launch yourself into the expert industry. You know, up to now, it's kind of been a secret of what is the expert industry all about, and how do I even get involved in that? Or who am I to claim myself as an expert? Well, let me tell you, today you have the ability to reach more people than ever before. It is the best time that I've ever seen in my history as a business owner to launch as an expert. And that's why I came out with my book, The Highly Paid Expert, teaching people the exact model of how to run a business as an expert, how to actually change your marketing up to become that go-to expert. And the reason being is because you can launch yourself online. People find you. You can launch yourself as an international expert practically overnight. Now, with that being said, there is a lot of responsibility being an expert, and we'll talk more about that as I get into some of my other videos. But for right now, I want to give you the groundwork. I want to teach you exactly how you can get started and what it's all about. Kind of pull the curtain back a little bit and tell you a little bit more about that expert industry. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, actually, what is an expert? And so that's a great question. What is an expert? And how do I become that? How do I actually tell myself that I'm at that level that I can go out there and start demanding a lot higher fees than I've ever done before? Well, let's talk about that for a second. Basically, the definition of an expert is this. They're known as an authority in their niche market. So if you're known as someone as the go-to expert, the authority somebody goes to and says, you know more, much more than the average person in that market, and you own that kind of market and you dominate it through the wisdom and the education that you have to give to others. So again, here it is, extensive knowledge and expertise. So you've got to learn to go deep within your expertise. Now, you can be an expert on anything. I mean, I've known people that have created all kinds of different things that they've created an expert on. It could be an ebook that you wrote that is on a very specific topic that is kind of an odd topic that a lot of people aren't finding information on. You know, basically that's what experts do, is they find that there's problems within a certain industry and then they find the solutions. And if you can do that in a form of education by letting people know exactly how to do it and shorten a learning curve for them, then let me tell you, people will pay big money for that. We're all looking for information. We're looking online every day to find all kinds of information. So you know what? They're looking for you. The world is looking for you and your words and your expertise. You just have to decide if you're ready to step up to a bigger game and claim it yourself as an expert. Okay, credentials, education. You say, well, I'm not really ready yet. I need to have better education. I need to have some kind of credentials as a coach. Well, yeah, there are coaching federations and different licenses that you can get as a coach, but is it necessary? You know, it can be and it cannot be, depending on what niche market you're doing, depending on what niche market you're going into, and depending on your target market. Now, me, for example, I don't have that type of credibility as far as background education. I came out of high school and went right into a family business. My education and experience comes from my life experience. I have been an entrepreneur since I was 19 years old, building and selling million-dollar companies in diverse industries. I've reinvented myself so many times over. That's why my skill specifically, I have this innate sense of how to do startup companies, how to find that area where you can dominate and really put yourself out there. And we're going to talk about that in just a little bit, about how you can start once you get the idea and the foundation created for yourself. So you don't have to have these big credentials and all kinds of plaques on the wall. What you do need to have at least is really broad experience. So either coming from one or the other or both. They're called upon for their advice and their wisdom on a regular basis. So people they're looking online. So think about it now. When you go and you look for something online, you might go right directly to Google and try and find the information there, or you skip right past that search engine and you go to YouTube as your search engine, and you're looking for a video, you're looking for some information, and that's probably how you found me as well. Is just finding some information about this. And I'm the expert who teaches people how to become experts. So what are you an expert at? So you've got to find that thing that you own. What is that thing and that passion, your skills, your talents, and what you've done in your background that you can say, I can totally own this market. And nobody else has done it. Or maybe they've done it, but you're doing it completely different with a new twist and your own personality. Even though people can teach the same type of things, they're going to teach it differently. And you're going to get the exact kind of clients that resonate with your personality and your experiences and the way you do business. That's why no two experts are created equal, because you want to be the expert that does not take on the responsibility of giving your clients 150%, giving them more than you can ever imagine that they would expect. What people find is a lot of time experts offer a lot, but they don't give the value. And that's another thing as responsibility as an expert, is you have to give tremendous amount of value. And when you give that value through the education and knowledge that you have, let me tell you, your fees will go through the roof. And that's where experts start making more money. But they own their market first, and they've got to build that foundation. So where does that start? It's a whole new way of thinking. It's the expert business model. And the expert business model is learning how to use what you know and educate people. And there's all different kinds of ways to educate people. It's basically different forms of communication. You might be communicating through a video. You might be communicating through your book, through articles, through blogs, teleseminars, webinars, live events. There's so many different ways that you communicate. It's still the same thing. It's just communicating in different forms where people can learn, communicating in different forms where people can learn about what you do. And it's thinking about how you market your business completely different than you've ever done before. It's giving of information. Now, don't think that you're going to give too much information online and people are going to find out everything and they won't need you. It's completely the opposite. Now you have to give as much as you can for people to realize that you really are the person that gives a lot of value. And they have to build trust. See, when the economy was really great, we had a lot of money to throw around, we'd try every little thing. Here's the magic blue pill, and I'm going to take this magic pill and it's going to change everything and make me wealthy. Or it's going to give me whatever I want, right away. There's not a magic pill, and it doesn't matter what color that pill comes in, because you have to do the due diligence and the work to get there. And there is a foundation and there is a system to creating this, but it can be done in a very short period of time. But to sustain your business as an expert business, you have to really not only make the impact, but continually give value that blows people away. So let's talk about what I call the expert pyramid. And this kind of gives you a visual to let you explain about where you may be coming into the expert model, whether you're really just starting out, and maybe if you're just starting out, you're going to the bottom here at the novice level. At the novice level, it's a tough place to be because there's a lot of competition. And if you're going to dominate your market, you have to get to the top. So at this level, you're going to have a lot of problems trying to get more money, and you're competing with a lot of people. So you're having to market, you're having to push harder, you're having to do that much more to stand out because you're in this area. And the reason you might be in the novice area is because maybe you're just starting out, maybe you just have an idea, and you think, I'm launching as an expert. How can I launch as an expert with an idea? Well, you're not launching with just an idea. You're launching with some skill sets or passion or some wisdom behind it that we're going to put together as a business model. Okay? But you probably are at this point don't have strong marketing. So if you're thinking about your business right now and saying, I'm really not having the kind of clients I want, or they're telling me that they can't afford my fees, they can't make a decision very quickly to work with me. There's somebody else that they decided to work with, the competition. So you've got to find it. probably what is happening, if you're not getting business easily and getting the kind of money that you want and you deserve, I guarantee you there are lots of problems in your marketing, probably lots of holes. What I see mostly in the novice market as somebody even starting out is they try and do it all by themselves. They try and write their own copy, they try and put it together in their marketing, and they have so many mixed messages that when somebody lands on their website, they don't even get what they're all about. There's no strong expertise that's brought to the forefront. So here, very easily how to move up. So even if you're in the skilled level, you still don't have great marketing, you're still having a little bit of problem getting money. You might have a little bit more because you're getting good word of mouth, you're maybe getting some case studies and some results from some of your clients because you have some skill level and you're taking care of people. You're starting to get a little bit up the ladder. Now, when you get to the specialist level, as you see that pyramid starting to get narrower, what happens is the competition falls off and money starts flowing. There's actually more money at the top and a lot more opportunity. So you want to get the competition and all of the marketing problems to go away. And that starts happening as we move up. So the specialists might then have defined themselves. So at this level, you probably have some really good marketing, good brand, solid foundation, what really defines what you do. You probably got a tagline that explains what you do, something like I say, the expert of experts. I used to be called the shameless person because I wrote a book called Confessions of Shameless Self-Promoters. So I was tagged that for a while as I went through that part of it before I reinvented. So I've had numerous type of taglines. You can do that. So don't think I've been doing business for 10 years, 20 years. I can't change my expertise. I can't be a specialist in something. Yes, if you're not making the money you want, there's an issue and it's time to move to the next thing. In marketing, what is consistent is change. You've got to be changing to grow. And again, if you haven't changed your business, if you haven't changed your business model, then it's not changing with what's going on around you. And if you haven't changed your website, your marketing pieces for a while, guarantee you again, you're losing the money. So as a specialist, you need to have the kind of marketing tools that represent a high level. And this means every single word of your website needs to be absolutely on target for your clients, the exact kind of clients you want. Then what they start seeing is the authority level. People that already know you as the authority, or people that find you, even peers amongst your own industry or your own niche market. They realize you are the authority, that go-to authority. And even as an authority, I see a lot of people that might reach that level, but are still not making the top dollar they deserve. So the top to me, or top of the pyramid, is what I call that highly paid expert. This is what we call the financially free, independent lifestyle. A highly paid expert chooses how they work every day, what kind of clients they're going to work with, how are they going to work with them, on the phone, on Skype, what is the thing that they're going to do? Do they want to do live events? Do they want to do webinars? Do they strictly want to make money online as their massive stream of income? Because I'm going to talk to you in a little bit later about how to create those streams of income, and you can break them down into what areas you want to create for your business. It's a financially free lifestyle, and what I mean by highly paid is that money flows to you. Clients flow to you easily. And what happens is when you're at this high level is you become that kind of star in your niche market. And so money and opportunities flow to you like a magnet, and everybody starts going to here. So when you're at the top, it's fun to be at the top, let me tell you, because this is where the money and the opportunities are. Your competition is falling behind and the money flow is here. So people are going to you. Do you need 100 new clients that pay you a little bit of money, or 20 clients that pay you a lot of money and actually give you more freedom and more time? Two of the biggest things we all need more of is time and money. So if you can create that in your business, you've got a highly paid, lucrative career. So it is all about expert positioning. You've got to go back to your marketing and position yourself as that specialist authority, the go-to person. And so that means looking at every piece that you do. Is it completely on target? Does it put me on the top? Do I look like that celebrity and that star in my niche market? You've got to look that way, you've got to appear that way, and people have to understand your message instantly. Because online, you have 1, 2, 3 clicks and I'm out of here if I don't understand it. So it's got to be very, very succinct. And I'm talking about building online because you've got to do that. You may get to a certain point where you actually are the authority or expert in your niche market. And I have clients that come to me that are like that. They're making 6 figures a year and they're doing pretty good in their local market, but they're stuck because they haven't adjusted their marketing for online to be that expert positioning they need. And again, a lot of it has to do with mixed messages. In an expert positioning, you take one path and one path only. Not being an expert in lots of things. One thing. I have a client that started working with me. His name is Nev. And when he started working with me, he couldn't figure out why he wasn't making money. And he really hadn't decided which path he wanted to take. So if you looked at his website, it was like, oh my gosh. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, no wonder he's having challenges. He's talking about being a real estate investor. He's talking about getting fit and having great fitness, and then in working on your health and what you eat. And then the other hand, he's working on diversity, which was totally the perfect thing for him. But he was mixing it up. You can't be everything to everyone. Think about it going narrower and smaller so that you're really in that niche market. So you can actually grow bigger because people go to you instead of trying to be everything to everyone. If you're being everything to everyone, you're competing. You're that wide bottom of the pyramid again because you haven't defined it. So again, it has to start with the brand and foundation to really be clear on everything that you're doing. Okay, so once we start getting very clear on what you're doing and that expertise is really what you own and you've got it, and you look online, you start grabbing all the domains that go around it. Now, it's really critical that you get the .com. You have to have the .com in your business. And you want to have multiple .coms that are really helping you dominate the market. So once you've found it, if you're going online looking for Google, you want to make sure that there's a lot of searches out there for it. You want to make sure there's not a lot of ads competing with a domain that you want. You want to make sure that your domain has really strong keyword-rich tags that people are looking for. So what I mean by that is somebody types in something to go find you. Most business owners don't even know what people type in on a Google search to find them. That's a problem right there. So you've got to define that, and then when you do define it well, you see, okay, there's not a lot of competition here. Here's an area I can grab, and I can grab a lot of .coms. And knowing that is really critical. And you may have to have some help on this, because the thing about our business is we're so good about what we know that we don't see the most obvious things. We don't see what somebody else might see as a marketing person that goes and says, well, here, right away. And so, I mean, I have years of being able to see that because I know exactly what I'm looking for. So when you have, whether you have figured that out yourself or work with somebody, and I believe that experts always need to work with other experts, just as I do on different parts of my business. So this is a critical piece too. So now to finish your brand foundation, you've got to grab the right domains up front and make sure that you really have that dominated so that when you go out and really launch it or relaunch your business, it's totally on target. Okay, it's a .com world. Now, not only do you need the .com, you need multiple websites. Now, I don't want to overwhelm you with this thinking, oh, you already have one website you have to redo, but I'm just giving you the overall view. Experts have multiple streams of income, and they create these through multiple websites. They may be one-page landing pages, they may be pages for a book that you wrote, an event you're doing, but believe me, you need to saturate it. And that's why it was so important when I talked about grabbing the .com is to grab multiple ones. So think about in the future, once you've got that brand foundation done, what might you want to do in the future? Grab one for your book. So if you had a great domain, then you want to grab one with like the book title as well, or a retreat or conference or any other thing you might be thinking about that you might add to it in the future, so you've got those all kind of locked in. So once you're all locked in, you've got your domains and you kind of start getting your website marketing pieces together, you want to start creating video marketing similar to this, right? Now you see me sitting here in front of a screen, a PowerPoint presentation teaching you. I believe very strongly in visual. And you need to do it the way it works for you, whether that's a flip chart, whether that's PowerPoint, whether that's just standing and talking, speaking from your heart, whatever it is, or all of the above. You need to be giving on education-based marketing. As an expert, your goal should be to get and have a minimum of 7 hours of information online. Yes, 7 hours of free information that you give online. Now, that could be done in lots of different ways. It can be done in video as one, but there's other ways we can do it, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's go back to the expert strategy again so you really understand the foundation of this. So, we've got the expert business strategy as far as the foundation of your target market. Then, you're going to get your brand really defined, grabbing up all the domains, knowing that's an area that you're going to be able to own and dominate. You're going to know exactly how to speak to your specific target market because every word you say will be showcased to them. Your value proposition, even that 3 to 15 word statement, is going to be so on target to this market, they're going to get it and understand what you're all about right away. And then you're going to start a business as a coach or a consultant if that's another stream of income that you want to create as an expert. And believe me, if you want to create income as a coach, consultant, or mentor, there's a lot of money there, especially on the one-on-one. But again, it's up to you how you want to build your business because again, time is money. That's your highest dollar. It will always be your highest dollar ticket. If you're thinking about, I don't have product, you have you. You're a coach, a consultant, a mentor, you have you, and your time is so valuable. That's going to be the highest price thing you could price of anything you could possibly create in a product. Speaking, again, is one of the best marketing tools. I've been a professional speaker for over 20 years, and I've learned to use this as one of the brilliant marketing tools that ever existed on the planet. Can you imagine? You get up in front of people, you get to tell them what you think about business and share your experiences as a thought leader. And because of that, when they see you speak and market what you're doing, they say, hey, come on board here. And you get invited again. So the more you speak, the more opportunities that you have. What a great career. I never thought you could actually have a career where you actually get applause just for showing up for work. So whether you aspire to be a professional speaker on a stage or you want to just be speaking on a webinar or teleseminar, it's one of the streams of income that's massive for an expert, and you got to get used to doing that because that's the area that's going to bring you the money. Again, you can't educate if you don't know how to speak well and communicate well to your market. So dominating the competition is where we want to think about. We want to build that foundation, and we want to get above, way above the competition and creating that foundation for you. So it is about creating a financially free, independent lifestyle. So before I leave you today, I want to offer something special to you. I'd like to make sure that you grab a copy of my preview copy of my book, The Highly Paid Expert, so that I can help you get some more ideas about the business. And remember I'm going to talk to you about multiple streams of income and how to really define it. So before you leave this page, make sure you click down to get a free copy, a preview copy of my book. And I'm going to stay in touch with you, giving you lots more education on this page. And then one more thing I'd like to ask for you to do is make a comment here on Facebook below and let me know what you think of the videos that I'm sharing with you in the education and how it's working for you. And I look forward to seeing you again on the next video.